Hey everybody, Neil Thompson from Teach the Geek here. I work with technical professionals so they can present more effectively, especially in front of non-technical audiences. And you can learn more about that at teachthegeek.com. Again, that's teachthegeek.com. And as always, remember to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel as every bit helps. As a technical person, have you ever not said anything because you didn't know the answer and you didn't want to say anything before you knew the answer to what was being spoken about? I know I've been in that situation. And when it comes down to it, a way to get around that is to ask thoughtful questions or ask smart questions, which could oftentimes lead to that answer. So even though you don't have the answer off the top, if you ask smart questions, you can get to that, what that answer is. I remember back when I worked as an engineer, I think I've mentioned in previous videos that I worked as a medical device product development engineer, working with spinal implants, more specifically with spinal implants that are made out of human cadaver bone. And so with these types of implants, we get samples from tissue banks. And then we would do testing on these samples to see whether they had a certain number of proteins, various proteins in them. Since when we sold them, that was one of our guarantees that based on our process, you'd have a minimum of a certain number of a certain amount of protein, a certain concentration of protein. And for some reason, one sample we got from the tissue bank, we weren't getting those numbers that we typically get. And so we had a meeting, about it to figure out why. And the question that I asked her in the meeting is, how did they prepare the samples? Were they prepared the same way that all the previous samples were prepared? And so we were able to get the log of how they actually processed that particular batch of samples. It turns out that they missed a critical step in their own process, which would then have a negative impact on us getting the numbers that we wanted for the product that we sold. And and so I didn't have the answer. All I did was ask that question about the handling of the processing of the samples at the tissue bank. And as I mentioned, it turns out that that's where the issue lied, and we were able to solve the problem. But I didn't have the answer. I just asked a question to eventually get to the answer. And that's really helpful as a technical person. You don't have to have all the answers, but you just have to be thoughtful and ask those types of questions to eventually get to that answer. So ultimately, when it comes to speaking up in front of people, even in meetings, just in general, don't think that you have to have all the answers before you say anything. It's sometimes it's just as good to ask those questions that eventually lead to that answer. Hopefully that's been helpful. Again, my name is Neil Thompson. I'm the founder of Teach the Geek. I work with technical professionals so they can present more effectively, especially in front of non-technical audiences. And you can learn more about that at teachthegeek.com. Again, that's teachthegeek.com. And as always, remember to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel as every bit helps. Thanks. Have a great day.